Aero engine OEMs have had a torrid time recently with supply chain issues, with production bottlenecks, with durability worries over next generation engines, and all this against the background of airlines with demands for fuel economies and savings across the board. Well, behind these walls, there's one company that's got something to smile about. This is Aviation Week TV's Insight programme, and we're in the UK at the Rolls-Royce Derby campus, where the company has been dealing with some of those woes with an amazing transformation. A year ago, as part of a $1 billion investment into its modern Trent fleet, the company introduced the latest variant of its Trent XWB engines to power the Airbus A350-900 aircraft, the XWB84EP. It promised fuel savings and other efficiencies, but if the Trent XWB84 was already rated highly with customers, why change? Pete Young was chief engineer as the engine was delivered to launch customers.
The Trent XWB has an excellent record in service with our customers. We know that it's been performing really well for over 10 years. However, our founder, Sir Henry Royce, said, take the best that exists and make it better. And we really made that our mantra for this project. We wanted to make the Trent XWB84 engine, which has been performing so well, we wanted to take it and we wanted to make it better. So we looked at how could we improve it, how could we improve its fuel consumption and some of its other attributes for our customers. So we looked at the Trent XWB84 and how it was performing with all of its millions of flying hours in service with our customers, and we said, how could we improve that? So we looked at the thermodynamic cycle, we looked how we could optimise the performance of the engine at a cycle, at a whole engine level, but then we also thought about how could we introduce aerodynamic improvements, how could we improve the performance of the engine, and then how could we also look at using some of those aerodynamic efficiencies to really optimise the performance of the product.
But were the enhancements worth it? And what did the customers think? Celine Boas is the Senior Vice President Customers, and she has no doubts.
Well, improvement of 1% in fuel is always welcomed by customers. I mean, remember that the cost of fuel is about 25 to 30% of the overall cost base for airlines, right? So you're telling them that you're addressing their number one cost. In real terms, it's $5 million per year in saving in fuel when you have a mid-sized fleet. So imagine if you're Turkish, if you're Air France, KLM and Delta, a very large fleets, so substantial impact and positive impact, and that's just fuel. So what's great for us and a celebration is that what the data is actually showing is a 1.8% fuel improvement in efficiency. 1.8%. That's 9 million per year on a mid-sized fleet. Again, if you think that you're keeping an aircraft 12 years to 25 years in your fleet, especially now with a supply and demand imbalance and airlines keeping their aircraft longer in fleet, that is a substantial cost saving.
This is the Trent XWB84 engine, one of those that we used in the test process to bring the aircraft, the A350-900, into service in 2015. Well, of course, as the developments have gone on into the EP, testing became one of the important parts of that process.
It's a very comprehensive process that we have to go through to certify our engines. We do the design process with great rigour. We look at defining all of the data that we need, what requirements we have for certification. But we don't just look at certification, we look at also what does our customer need that product to do. And then we define an engine development programme, which is over many years. We had 8 development engines running multiple different sites, different types of tests to really prove the product out and show that it not just met those regulations, but also was able to deliver the attributes that we needed. So we ran thousands of cycles on a test bed. We were very keen to make sure that the product was mature. So we took an engine, we ran it on a test bed for 6 months, continuously, day after day after day, running hot cycles so that we could prove that this engine was truly mature.
Customers are discovering that it is indeed more than just fuel savings.
less CO2, less noise. We can see now that the engine is 2 decibels quieter than the initial XWB84 engine. Why is that important? Well, it's important for people and the environment around the airports to start with, especially in Europe where you have very dense population. Let's talk about revenue. I mean, remember when you're an airline, most of your revenue is coming really from the premium cabin, from the business class cabin, versus your contributor. So having a very good premium product and a very competitive premium product is really important for airline, because this is how they attract the business and this is their top revenue line. Therefore, having a quieter cabin and a better customer experience is important.
Rolls-Royce has exclusivity for the XWB family of engines on the Airbus A350, which Rolls-Royce sees as a factor in enabling investment.
A number of airlines have challenged the exclusivity of Rolls-Royce on the 350 airframe. Exclusivity is really powerful and a great lever when you develop product enhancements. Well, why? Because quite simply, you need to know the size of the market you're going to address when you have to take investment decisions. I mean, remember, developing these product improvements, they cost $500 million, $1 billion, $1.5 billion. We have announced a number of improvements in Rolls-Royce on the product, and we have delivered and are delivering on all of them.
Our major programs now are executed in quite a different way to the way they used to be. We're much more efficient, we're much more focused on the output and the outcome. So making sure that our programs really deliver for our customers and hit the numbers, be it fuel burn, be it durability, whatever it is our customer needs, our programs are very focused on delivering to those requirements.
So Phil, the Emirates President, Sir Tim Clark, has said he's not going to buy the A350-1000s until problems with the engine's durability are solved. Now, we've seen improvements with the 84EP, but now with the Trent XWB87, are you making those improvements? And when is Sir Tim going to be happy?
Just like the 84EP, which has been very successful in improving that smaller sibling, if you like, of the XWB family, we're doing a very similar thing on the 97. The EP was focused on fuel burn primarily, as well as also making it more durable. The 97 engine has already got a fantastic fuel burn. It's very reliable, our customers love it and they love operating it. It's one of the most utilised engines out there. What we're doing in the programme on the 97 is looking at improving the durability of the engine. What do I mean by that? Well, our customers want the engine to last as long as it can on the aircraft before we have to do an overhaul or interface with the engine. So what we're doing is we're developing a number of technologies and designs to introduce to that engine to make it last longer. So when it's operating from the Middle East, as an example, we're looking to double the amount of time on wings, the amount of time between the engine needs to be removed in the desert. We're also looking to add 50% to the time on wing, which is already pretty good, frankly, elsewhere in the world.
Now, the mood at Rolls-Royce has changed as a result of this transition.
It's pride through the team, because it is a proof that Rolls-Royce can make the best engines on the market. And it's not just Rolls-Royce saying it. Air France has been saying, quite publicly that the XWB84 is the best engine on the market. And you take the best and you make it even better. It's what we're doing, and it's just a proof of the ability of Rolls-Royce engineers to develop the best engines on the market.
It helps that we're doing well financially, but more than that, there's some really exciting projects coming on. Bringing technology into the XWB is just one of the things we're doing. If you look broader across the Rolls-Royce, what we're doing with SMRs, with small nuclear reactors, and what we're bringing to the market there, almost everywhere you look in the different sectors of Rolls-Royce, it's very positive. There are new products coming to market, and we're getting huge successes.
So the Trent XWB84EP has certainly exceeded expectations, both for the environment, but also for the bottom line of its airline customers. But it's about so much more than that. You've only got to look around here to see the innovations and the ideas that are coming out of Rolls-Royce for its other programs as we go forward. So the cloud is lifting from this part of Europe, and I think that's good news for the airline industry as a whole. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.